Welcome to Dreamy Tales, your bedtime haven. Prepare to embark on a journey of tranquility and relaxation. I'm here to weave enchanting stories that will gently guide you into a restful night's sleep. Subscribe and let the soothing whispers of Dreamy Tales be your nightly companion. Freddie's Fantastic Adventures. Episode 4, Freddie's Flight of Survival. Chapter 1, Struggle Against the Elements. As dawn broke over the enchanted forest, Freddie the Fox awoke to the sound of distant thunder, a sense of unease settling in the pit of his stomach. He glanced up at the darkening sky, a frown creasing his brow as ominous clouds gathered on the horizon. "Ollie, do you hear that?" Freddie called out to his faithful friend, a young owl who perched nearby. Ollie blinked sleepily, his feathers ruffled by the chill wind that swept through the forest. "I hear it, Freddie. It sounds like a storm is coming." Freddie nodded grimly, his mind racing with thoughts of the dangers that lay ahead. "We must find shelter before the storm hits. Come, let us make haste." With a sense of urgency, Freddie and Ollie set off into the forest, their senses on high alert as they searched for a safe haven from the approaching tempest. But as they ventured deeper into the shadows, the forest seemed to grow denser and more foreboding, and the path ahead grew increasingly treacherous. "We must find shelter soon, Freddie," Ollie urged, his voice tinged with concern. "The storm is growing stronger by the minute." Freddie nodded in agreement, his eyes scanning the landscape for any sign of refuge. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating a darkened cave nestled at the base of a towering cliff. "There, Ollie! We must make for that cave before the storm overtakes us," Freddie exclaimed, his heart pounding with adrenaline. With renewed determination, Freddie and Ollie dashed towards the cave, their breath coming in ragged gasps as they raced against the encroaching darkness. Just as the first drops of rain began to fall, they reached the safety of the cave, their chests heaving with exertion and relief. "We made it, Freddie," Ollie said, his eyes wide with awe. "But what now? How will we weather the storm?" Freddie gazed out into the raging tempest, his mind racing with thoughts of survival. "We must wait out the storm here, Ollie, and pray that we emerge unscathed when it finally passes." Chapter 2, Lost in the Wilderness. As the storm raged outside the shelter of the cave, Freddie and Ollie huddled together, seeking solace in each other's company. The sound of rain pounding against the rocky walls echoed through the chamber, mingling with the distant rumble of thunder. "We're safe for now, Ollie," Freddie murmured, his voice barely audible above the roar of the storm. "But we must be prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead." Ollie nodded in agreement, his feathers fluffed up against the chill. "Indeed, Freddie, we must stay vigilant and keep our wits about us." But as the hours passed and the storm showed no signs of abating, Freddie's sense of unease grew. He knew that they couldn't stay holed up in the cave forever, and yet the thought of venturing out into the tempest-filled wilderness filled him with dread. "We can't stay here forever, Freddie," Ollie said, echoing his thoughts. "We must find a way to make it through the storm and find our way home." Freddie nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of survival. "You're right, Ollie. We must venture out into the storm and seek help. But we must tread carefully, for the forest can be a dangerous place, especially in weather like this." With a deep breath, Freddie steeled himself for the journey ahead. Together, he and Ollie emerged from the safety of the cave, their senses on high alert as they ventured out into the heart of the storm. The wind whipped through the trees, sending branches crashing to the forest floor, and the rain fell in sheets, obscuring their vision and soaking them to the bone. But still, they pressed on, their determination unwavering in the face of adversity. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated a familiar landmark in the distance, filling Freddie's heart with hope. "Look, Ollie. It's the clearing where we first met Luna. If we can make it there, we may find shelter from the storm." With renewed determination, Freddie and Ollie pushed forward, their eyes fixed on the distant glow of the clearing. But as they ventured deeper into the wilderness, they soon realized that they were not alone. Chapter 3: Unforeseen Dangers. As Freddie and Ollie pressed onward through the raging storm, their senses alert for any sign of danger, they soon became aware of a new threat lurking in the shadows of the forest. A low growl echoed through the trees, sending a shiver down Freddie's spine. "Did you hear that, Ollie?" he whispered, his voice barely audible over the roar of the storm. Ollie nodded grimly, his eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. "I heard it, Freddie. It sounds like there's something out there, something dangerous." Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appeared in the underbrush, fixated on Freddie and Ollie with predatory intent. Before they could react, a massive shape lunged out of the shadows, blocking their path with a menacing snarl. It was a wolf, its fur bristling with aggression as it bared its teeth in a silent warning. Freddie's heart raced with fear as he realized they were facing a formidable opponent, one that would stop at nothing to protect its territory. "We mean you no harm, noble wolf," Freddie called out, his voice trembling with apprehension. "We seek only shelter from the storm. Please let us pass." But the wolf's only response was a guttural growl, its eyes blazing with primal fury. It seemed intent on driving Freddie and Ollie from its territory, no matter the cost. "We can't reason with it, Freddie," Ollie whispered, his wings trembling with fear. "We must find another way around." Freddie nodded in agreement, his mind racing with thoughts of escape. "You're right, Ollie. Let's try to circle around and find another path through the forest. But we must tread carefully, for there may be more dangers lurking in the shadows." With a silent prayer for safety, Freddie and Ollie turned away from the snarling wolf and plunged deeper into the heart of the storm-lashed wilderness. But as they ventured onward, they knew that the true test of their courage was yet to come, and that they must remain vigilant if they were to survive the perils of the enchanted forest. Chapter 4: Banding Together for Survival. As Freddie and Ollie navigated through the treacherous wilderness, their hearts pounded with each step, the howling wind drowning out their thoughts. But amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope emerged as they stumbled upon a small clearing nestled between the towering trees. "We should rest here for a moment, Ollie," Freddie suggested, his voice barely audible over the storm. "We can't continue on like this indefinitely." Ollie nodded in agreement, his feathers plastered against his body from the rain. "You're right, Freddie. We need to conserve our strength if we're going to make it through this." With a weary sigh, Freddie sank to the ground, his eyes scanning their surroundings for any sign of danger. But as he settled against the damp earth, a sense of exhaustion washed over him, his limbs heavy with fatigue. "We can't stay here for long," Ollie murmured, his eyes darting nervously between the shadows. "We need to find shelter before the storm worsens." Freddie nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of their next move. "Agreed, Ollie. But we can't risk wandering blindly through the forest in this weather. We need to come up with a plan." Just then, a rustling sound echoed through the clearing, causing Freddie and Ollie to tense with apprehension. But to their surprise, a familiar figure emerged from the underbrush, his silver fur shimmering in the dim light. "Luna!" Freddie exclaimed, relief flooding through him at the sight of the wise wolf. "We're so glad to see you. We're lost in the storm, and we don't know how to find our way home." Luna nodded in understanding, his wise eyes reflecting the flickering light of the storm. "I sense that you are in trouble, young ones, but fear not, for you are not alone. Together, we will find a way to weather this storm and emerge stronger for it." With Luna's guidance, Freddie and Ollie set off once more into the heart of the forest, their spirits bolstered by the knowledge that they were not facing the dangers of the wilderness alone. And as they ventured forth, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, bound by the unbreakable bonds of friendship and courage. Chapter 5: A Glimmer of Hope. With Luna's guidance lighting their path, Freddie and Ollie ventured deeper into the heart of the storm-lashed forest, their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that they were not alone in their struggle. Through wind and rain, they pressed on, their determination unyielding in the face of adversity. As they navigated through the dense underbrush, Luna's keen senses led them to a hidden grove nestled at the heart of the forest. There, amidst the towering trees, they found a sheltered alcove where they could wait out the worst of the storm. "We should wait here until the storm passes," Luna advised, his voice calm and reassuring. "It may be some time before it's safe to continue our journey." Freddie and Ollie nodded in agreement, grateful for the respite from the elements. As they settled into the shelter of the grove, Luna regaled them with tales of his own adventures in the enchanted forest, weaving a tapestry of wonder and mystery that captivated their imaginations. But as the hours passed and the storm raged on, Freddie couldn't shake the feeling of unease gnawing at his insides. What if they were trapped in the forest forever, doomed to wander its endless depths? "We can't give up hope, Freddie," Ollie whispered, sensing his friend's distress. "We've overcome every challenge that's been thrown our way, and this will be no different." Freddie nodded, his spirits lifting at Ollie's words of encouragement. "You're right, Ollie. We've faced down danger before, and we'll do it again. Together, we can overcome anything." And so, as the storm raged on outside, Freddie, Ollie, and Luna huddled together in the shelter of the grove, their hearts filled with hope and determination. For no matter what trials lay ahead, they knew that as long as they had each other, they would always find a way to weather the storm. As the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, the storm began to subside, leaving behind a world washed clean and new. And as Freddie and his friends emerged from the shelter of the grove, they knew that though their journey through the enchanted forest was far from over, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage, resilience, and the unwavering bond of friendship that had carried them this far. As the stars twinkle above, it's time for dreamy tales to bid you good night. May the soothing echoes of our stories linger in your dreams, offering you a serene escape. Until we meet again under the moonlit sky, sleep tight and sweet dreams.